Hello and welcome to Watch Cheryl Scrap for our February session. Today is Wednesday, February 5th, and we're doing a middle of the day session. So it is 1 p.m. Central, so 2 p.m. Eastern. It's in the morning. If you're where Courtney is,
11
and
a.m.
it's in the evening if you're some of our European friends. So I didn't get to finish all of the month of challenges layouts. I have 2 left, so I'm going to do number 30, and this is the cut file by Scrapping with Liz. So I'm going to use it and scrap a layout about some birthday flowers. And I'm going to grab these photos really quick. Loading.
Hannah's excited for the European times.
Yeah, I decided we would at least do it half of the time. So that'll work, yes?
I think so. I think it's good. It mixes it up. Susan says she should probably wake her team up, but she wants her time. Nah, let them sleep. No, I literally just threw some school at my, like Cheryl during our mic test heard me explaining this is what divided by 1 and divided by 0 means. Now go do it on your own.
Yep, that's literally what she did. She was like, okay, remember?
Remember this, now go do it. Getting her ready for college is iffy. I mean, I took an 8 a.m. class, but attendance wasn't mandatory. So, but my roommates never took a class before 10.
Okay,
Those
mark
are
those
pretty
scrap.
flowers. For your birthday, you said?
Yes.
Aww.
My mom always makes flower arrangements, and these were actually seeds that my grandma, who passed away a year ago, they're seeds that she had in her freezer.
Aww.
So, yeah, thought it was nice. So I thought it'd be cute to have some of these in.
Those are cute.
So
I love that leaf
zinnias or
too.
zinnias.
Like that leaf is just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
It looks like a butterfly.
yeah, I can't remember what that's called. Reminds me of an elephant ear, but it's not. I mean, the shape of it, but I can't remember what that one's called. Let's see.
So the flowers, Lisa said they were zinnias. Is that what they are? Did I miss that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That's what
They remind. Oh, they remind Hannah of dahlias. Dahlias? Dahlias, right?
Dahlias.
Dahlia. Yeah. Oh, see, talking is not my strong point right now. I'm
Talking.
kind
It's
of
too
like
early.
Susan's teen, and I got up like 45 minutes ago, an hour ago.
You're like, okay.
But on the flip side, I was still up at 2 a.m. So, I put in a full day. It's just not normal people hours.
What were you doing up so late?
School. What am I always doing up so late? It's always school.
I've gotten better about not staying up so late.
It depends on how my day goes. Like yesterday ended up just being a weird day, and my husband was off, and my husband wasn't off. Like he didn't work at night, but he worked the night before, so he was still sleeping during the day.
Right.
So it just kind of threw off our schedule, and it just, yeah, those are the days when I end up staying up too late.
Okay.
Aww.
I think I'm gonna open up Lightroom instead.
Susan said she went to Montana. Her mom went to Montana, where her family founded a town, and she took irises home from there. She planted them at her house. When she moved, they forgot to dig them up, and the new owners dug them up and threw them out.
Aww.
We
That's
actually
sad.
we planted a willow tree, which is just a funny story to me because we brought the willow tree home in our tiny little Corolla, like Toyota Corolla. And when my son was born and we planted it, well, we moved from that house, but when we were back there in the area this last summer, we I was so mad because we stopped by and I wanted to take a picture of him by the tree, but the owners weren't home, but there was like this weird guy hanging out there, so I was kind of uncomfortable. But I did snap a picture of the tree. But it's still there. They've left it. They've let it grow, so it's like huge now.
Interesting.
But you know how that is? Like it's I mean, technically on the property would have been like private property, but from the sidewalk wasn't. But you don't want to skew somebody out if they have kids, you know?
Yeah.
I like willow trees too. I was so bummed when we had to move because I was like, no, this is gonna be his tree to play in and to hide in and yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, her husband's job makes her get up at 3:30 a.m. and drive him in at 4. Yeah, I would be dead by 8 too. That's early. I always say my night owl's days will be done and over with at some point, but it hasn't happened yet. I joke I was born that way because I was 11:20 at night baby. And I was apparently quite a happy baby at 11:20 at night. So,
Okay. Let's see here. I'm just gonna get a white background while I'm filling this in.
I would probably like mornings better, except my child is a morning child. So, like, this kid does not know how to sleep in, I swear. So he is up every day by like 7:15. So I don't get that nice quiet morning to myself. It's, oh, you're up already. Okay.
Yeah. How old is he now?
He will be 10 next month. I keep waiting for that like preteen sleep all the time to kick in, and it hasn't.
Yeah, it'll happen. It really will.
He heard me and he yells, "It won't happen."
To be like, we would tell Daniel and Olivia, especially Daniel, when he didn't want to go to sleep at night, I'm like, you know what? If or he'd get up real early in the morning, you're disturbing my rest or you're disturbing my quiet time. We've had time together, et cetera, et cetera. So if you continue to disrupt my time, I will disrupt your time tomorrow.
Yeah.
He didn't like that very much.
Well, that's also why I put him to bed at 7 last night, 7:30, because I was done. I was like, nope, I need my quiet time. We're done.
7:30. Well, no wonder he's getting up early.
Oh, no, that's not normal. That was just last night because I was done with him.
Yeah, you're right.
Normally,
I'm just done.
yeah, normally he hasn't been in bed until 8:30, 9 o'clock. But it sucks. He went to bed at 10 o'clock one day last week, or 10:30. It was 10:30, and he still was up at 7. Like, he does not know how to sleep in, this child.
You're like, no.
Some days I think I can sleep like an Olympian too, Susan. Oh, Hannah says she's been a morning person ever since she worked in a glass house, which is a flower nursery, in her teens. Huh. I've never been a morning person. Lisa, there's hope then. She said her youngest was like that too, but she got over it. I'm like, thank goodness. Someday. I keep hoping that someday. Is that sad? You hope your child outgrows their morning person like quality?
No. I don't think it's bad.
Very well in life. Oh no. Hannah says she's the same and she cannot sleep in late for the life of her. And she's going to be 40 next year. So yeah, I'm out of luck.
Oh no.
Well, but eventually he'll move out, so I won't have to deal with it, see?
He'll be waking somebody else up.
Cheryl, why are you doing expand by 12 pixels?
Well, if you see here, it's just selecting that area. So when I select to expand it, it goes a little bit further, and it just makes sure that there are no spaces when I'm filling in behind there. Does that make any sense?
Yep, that makes sense. She's got it.
So I got some
Thank you.
yellow. And
so Susan says she did watercolor for hers. What did everybody else do for their cut file, if you did it?
let's do some red.
Solid color. All right, Hannah wants to know if you use actions on your photos or edit them, and before you scrap or when you're saving them.
I do it right before I scrap with them. So I just did a basic edit just then, just to increase exposure, contrast, and I pulled the blacks out a little bit more, but that's pretty much it. I have a lot of presets, I just don't use them. You know what? I think I want to.
That tends to be how I edit lately too, is usually I'll change the contrast, the exposure, and then I might play with the highlights and blacks, whites a little bit.
Yeah.
Just depends. This is so pretty.
I love this cut file. It's very pretty. Let's see.
I know, but it's like got a whole new life with the way you're filling it in.
And then let's see. Maybe
and you edit your photos in Lightroom still, right?
Yes. Yep. Dun, 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 dun,
dun. Kim's at work and she was trying to sneak on and watch, but she's actually had to work. Imagine that. That's horrible. Don't they know that this is your time?
This is my time.
Susan wants to know if there's a way to make the cut file not quite as thick. Because she likes it, but it's too wide, so she would have liked it to be about half the width. Could you select it all and then use not the expand version, but the other version?
Like
the opposite
she
of expand.
Doesn't want it as thick, the stroke.
The lines.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, but even if you do that selection, it's gonna give you some weird stuff.
It's gonna give some weird stuff though, yeah.
Yeah. Because you're gonna.
There's a way. Yeah.
I'd have to use some brain cells to try to figure that out.
Yeah. I don't know if I have the brain cells that will figure that out, but
yeah, I don't have them. I don't think.
Yeah. You could try it and see. I mean, you might be able to play with those and make it work for you and for what you want, but
yeah, I mean, just right now, if I just select the whole thing, let's see, select, modify, contract, let's contract by 15 and see what happens. Okay, so it's pulling in, it's doing the inside too.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's select the inverse then and delete and see what happens. Oh, well, it always helps if I rasterize. Okay, now we should be able to delete, and that will give you your
How's
smoother.
that? I mean, you've still got a few chunkier spots, but it's smaller. Yeah, that's true too. Hannah said you could always use the expanded bit and then just cut that out instead of doing the inverse.
Yeah.
Either way, That might be something to play with if you like that.
Yeah, but you can see here, like your cut
Yeah,
piece here is off,
yeah,
which is not a big deal, really.
yeah. There'll be a few places that are a little
I
off,
don't
but
know. I kind of like that.
they all do too, actually.
All
I
right,
kind of like it too.
let me actually. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Let's see. Why is it?
Why is it pulling in that other paper?
It's not pulling in the other paper. It's just that I need to. My selections were all
Based on
for
the,
that
yeah,
size.
it's not
So
pulling in the other paper. It's the difference in where it was sitting.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So because if I do this, then you're gonna see.
Yep.
You
So
can
this is
see.
where, this is why that she's expanding the edge by 12.
Yeah. Because now you can see all those bits.
Yep.
Oh man, I
Yep,
don't want to
Hannah,
have to
she's lost
do
the
all
extra
that.
edge.
I don't want to have to do all that again. Okay, we're
Nah,
just gonna go with the thick.
that works.
Okay, that works. Yes.
You could try doing it and only make it smaller by like 10 because you expanded
Yeah,
by 12.
I'd expand it by 15.
No, when you did your selections, you expanded by 12.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if you diminished by 10, you theoretically should still be outside of that. But math is hard this morning, so maybe I'm wrong.
Well, because
But now you know.
I need to actually increase the size of the pieces, not decrease them. They need to be bigger if I have it. If I make that smaller, does it make any
Right.
sense?
Yep. That's what I said. It's early. Math is my friend, but it's early.
Okay, so let's see. Let's see if I just do it by. Let's do it by 10 and see if I can get away with it.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you for the suggestion.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now, what I want to do.
See, this morning I can divide by 0 and 1, and I can figure out the difference.
Okay. Now, what I want to do is because I want there to be. I think I'm gonna drop shadow. Let's see. Linear burn, opacity, global light,
Oh,
noise.
Susan's daughter's in trouble.
Uh-oh.
They
What
bought the
happened?
microphone headset that she's using for the French class, and she was saying it doesn't work. So she hasn't done it. But as we know, it works just fine.
Uh-oh. Ruh-roh.
Somebody's in trouble.
Right?
Is
Okay,
it the
well,
same
we're just,
computer she's using? I like that, Cheryl. It turned out really cute.
I think it did too.
All the bits in yellows and pinks.
And I'm going to use some of those brushes from NBK.
Ooh, from that challenge.
Yes.
And which part are you brushing? Behind it? On top of it?
Behind it. So it'll show up more on this pattern paper. I
Gotcha.
just made a new layer and I'm not painting on the actual paper itself, just trying to get that cut file to show up a little bit more because I do like my photos on here.
Gotcha.
I like how the paper, but I really want need some more white.
So you're just kind of muting the paper a little bit with the paint.
Yes. So
I like that paper too, Hannah. It's awesome.
No, that's a little too much. Cute. I'll do a little bit behind here.
Cool.
And let's do some of this.
So my favorite question is always, we're a couple days into February. So how many of you have already done all the February challenges because you just had nothing else to do and you still had MOC time built in? What kit are you using, Cheryl?
This is Create Crate from February 2017. And what was it called?
Who knows?
This Thing Called Love.
Ah, I like
So
that. Lisa says her family was revolting.
her family was revolting.
I assume revolting over her being at the computer fair having
Oh,
MOC. We're like, nope, we're done. No more.
flash flood warning issued.
Oh no.
Okay, so what I want to do, I think I'm going to, because I want a little tiny shadow. Let's see where it looks like I've cut, had those cut in. Create layer.
Hannah says she was going through withdrawal, but she forgot that there's monthly challenges.
She's like, oh, now I have something to do.
She was busy working on stuff for you. Isn't that sweet?
Aww.
Lisa says she warned everybody on New Year's Eve. So I had to do a journal entry for one of my classes, and I actually wrote about MOC and how every December I'm like, oh, it's going to be fun. I'm going to have all this time. And then, January rolls around and I go, oh, yeah, that's right. I don't have time.
I don't really have a lot
My
of
new
time.
semester starts. It's about the time I freak out on whether I'm teaching my kid enough for school, all that kind of crap. It
Right.
all hits in January. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's
I like
right.
that either. Let's see.
So,
I'm gonna do that.
So Susan, have you done all of the challenges yet for February, or are you taking them slow? My life didn't used to be crazy, but there's something about a full-time schedule at school that has made it crazy.
Okay, what I'm trying to do here
Mhm.
is create a shadow that when
Okay.
I pull it out does not give me the cutout. Does that make any sense? I just want the shadow behind.
So you want
So
just the paper part, or?
yeah, well, I'll show you. Let me go backwards. Okay, so right now I have the cut file and then all my paper pieces behind there. And then I've separated my shadow. So if I start to move the shadow to do, custom shadowing, you can see it's got a hole in it. And it shouldn't because I have paper there.
Paper. Mm-hmm.
So to quickly fix that, I'm going to delete that shadow. I'm going to grab the cut file and all the paper pieces and duplicate it. And then I'm going to merge that together. I'm going to put a layered paper shadow and create that custom shadow. Then I can turn that duplicate off. So now when I go to pull it, it's all
one piece.
one piece.
Because you're making it look like you've glued the paper to the cut file.
Correct, which is
Gotcha.
what you do. And when you're using them in real life, that's what you do.
Not if you're lazy. If you're lazy like me, you glue the paper to the bottom paper and then put the cut file on top of it.
Well, you could very well mess that up with this many pieces. You kind of have to like glue them to the cut file and then
yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have probably attempted this pretty of a cut file with my paper skills because they are a little lacking.
Yeah, I watch a lot of videos, and their patience for these things it's remarkable. Okay, so I really want it to kind of be big on the outside. Yes, like I've used pop dots. I think I want it kind of big. Yep, yeah, I like that.
You know, Bellagio has a really pretty display, if it's still up, for Chinese New Year. That would have some good photos. It's weird to have somebody that is like local to me,
Yeah,
even though
you're
it
like,
doesn't feel local because this town feels so freaking big some days.
you're like,
Oh, hi, Angela. Yeah, it went up in
okay.
January. I only know it's up because we went to take my mother-in-law to go see it and it wasn't there. No, maybe that was the Christmas one we went to go see and we never did make it to see that because yeah. Yeah, that's the way it happens.
Okay, that's pretty.
How are you today, Angela? I know it's evening for you. Are your munchkins down or are they still up running around? Ooh, the younger two just finished homework and TJ is still at it. Ugh, homework is such the bane of existence.
Yes, it
I had
is.
I had two friends yesterday, both who were just like, I hate this. Can I homeschool so I don't have to do homework? Like for an hour because they were fighting with their kids. And I'm like, yeah, but some days that's what it's like doing regular work
Yeah,
is you fight all day.
okay. I don't know. Maybe I want to do a
We do
mat
homework.
around the edge.
Ooh, Angela's
Yeah.
son says homework is more boring than standing around doing nothing. I like that statement.
I'm not a big homework. I don't think I could homeschool. I don't think I would be very good at it
Well,
at all.
I don't. There's days I think I fail at it. So there's a lot of days I'm like, no, no, I've got to be doing okay. Yeah, God gives you the grace when you need it. I agree, Susan. That's exactly it. You just kind of sit down and you go, okay, then. Like we didn't do any school yesterday because he went and did this little cupcake wars at somebody's house where they made
Yeah,
cupcakes and stuff. And I'm like, yep, that's good for school today. You did math, you learned how to bake, you did stuff. Home ec, exactly.
all right.
Oh,
So I want some of that paint to look like it's coming off onto my other paper. Yes, that's fun.
yes, I like it.
So now I'm gonna do my shadow behind here.
So do you ever worry about your light or do you just let it shadow the way you want it to look like it shadows?
I just shadow whatever way I want
Gotcha.
because I'm a rebel like that. No, I do try to think about if I was, photographing it. Um, I don't know. I just do what I like. I think that's how most scrappers are anyway, right? We just kind
Yeah.
of, I
Well,
mean, I like to try new things, but, and
I
I
was
know
reading
that,
somewhere that somebody said they tried to make sure all the shadows like lined up as the light was hitting it one direction. I'm like, that's too much thought process for me. And when
yeah,
you
no,
photograph a paper layout, you have shadows going different ways depending on your light. So,
yes. Unless you've got some really direct spotlight or sunlight,
hmm outside in the middle of noon. Ooh, TJ has her big exams year in the middle of practice
you're
exams.
gonna have like, oof,
Oh, you're cutting out. Is that the weather? Or is that me?
am I not here?
No, you're there.
I'm here. Okay.
Whew.
I was like, oh no, oh no.
Susan says you're really good at using pattern papers. She sticks to plain backgrounds because she feels like she can't get them to look right.
Well, like I wasn't pleased with it, and so I was like, well, I'll try. It really needed that solid on the background to anchor your eye because my eye was going everywhere, and that was no fun.
Yeah. So what I started to do, Hannah and Susan, is I started to look through the gallery and find people that I liked, like find layouts specific that I was like, I love how they use that pattern paper. And then I looked at it and I was like, well, what is it that I like about how they used it? And
Right?
that's made me a little more bolder with the pattern paper. Because like sometimes it's like, okay, maybe it's a certain type of a pattern works really well. Or maybe it's like you did where you muted some of it so that the rest of it, so it's there and you see it, but it lets other things shine. Because
Yeah,
everybody has their own things that they prefer. So what works for one may not be somebody else's favorite. But I found that that helped me get bolder. I do that for a lot of techniques. You should have seen me learning how to do clean and simple. I go through the gallery and
oh,
I'm like, okay, I like that. I like that. Oh, that's how you could do that. Okay.
that was rough. That was so hard not to keep adding things. That challenge.
Yeah, but I just mean in general. I don't mean
Yeah.
specifically for that. Like if I
Oh, I
want
was
more of
just I
a,
was just still scarred and remembering it.
and we made you do it live too.
Yeah, like
So you were
everybody
like,
thought.
um.
Um, um, um. Oh, I don't know. I kind of like this big heart.
Aw.
What do y'all think? No, yes.
Yes. Trauma. I think that's related to the clean and simple.
Yeah.
Oh.
See. Uh, I don't know. I think it kind of takes away from it.
It does a
Maybe if
little bit
I think if I tuck it in maybe behind and just get that little ruffly edge.
because you know it's a
Yes.
heart.
And then we'll get a little ruffly edge over here.
There you go.
And then let's see, flowers in here.
Yeah, Angela, I struggle with that too, the 25% of the page, because I really love big photos. And I cannot lie. I love big photos. I love having them large and in charge. And so I did find a picture though that I was like, I want to scrap this picture, but there's really not much to say about it. And that became the picture. Oh,
Okay, so
oh, that's cute, Hannah.
this
I
is like
agree.
a Valentine's kind of kit.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna kind of use this like I want to,
Like
right?
you want to.
Because I can.
Yeah, that's what it's intended to be.
Yep. So I'm gonna change that to, oh, I didn't want to do that.
I was like, it didn't shadow, did it? Now it did.
Yeah, yeah.
I love your
So
acetate vellum shadowing, by the way. I use that a lot.
I like it. It gives it just the right little touch sometimes.
I'm
What?
so sorry, Susan. Her husband is a graphic designer, and he gets so mad at her when she messes up a page with too much stuff.
Oh yeah.
She's like,
Well,
I keep telling him that's scrapping.
that's different from graphic design.
Oh my goodness. Yes, it totally is.
Okay.
I struggled with vellum and acetate, but I really like the shadow that Cheryl has for them, and that has helped me to like embrace the vellum and stuff a little bit more. And I think that's part of it. Sometimes if you can't get the right shadow, things just don't feel right. Make that picture bigger. Oh, there's no contrast. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, I would struggle with that. I had to tell myself when I was taking all my graphic design classes, I'm always like, it's okay that this is not perfectly graphically designed because that's not the point of this.
Right. Not the point.
It's all piled up. Well, yeah, you let your eyes rest off the page. Hello. Oh goodness, that's so funny. I just imagine you guys fighting over it. This would not be approved at my work. Well, that's fine. It's not for your work.
It's not for your,
Oh
not
goodness.
for you.
Oh, that made my day. No, it's his
Okay,
comment. Oh, don't sulk about it. Just think of all the people who love your layouts here, and then you can be happy. You can be like, it's fine. It's a different type of thing. I really like the way you did that cut file.
it, it, it surprised me.
I'm so glad of the idea of, hey, can we make it thinner? Like that totally changed it, and like, yeah,
Right?
yeah, that was brilliant.
Well,
I get that, Susan. I will. I've reached the point where I now will tell my husband straight up. I'll be like, hey, validate me. I cleaned the house today. Validate me. And
yeah,
he knows that he's got to find a couple of things to say nicely. Because, yeah, it's the best way that I don't sulk and feel sad and like bummed when I put a lot of effort in. And he doesn't
right.
feel like he has to notice every time I do every little thing. I do it on scrap pages too. I'll be like, hey, look, validate me. This is awesome. Oh. Oh, Lisa has a good friend who's a graphic designer and she feels like she's judging her choices too. Do you ever feel like Olivia judges you, Cheryl?
Yeah. Oh, she does.
Oh, she does?
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever say,
She does.
hey, I sent you to that school. Stop it.
Yeah. I'm like, we have different ways of doing things, and you know, it's funny because it is, you know, graphic design, logo design, website development, graphics. That's all different than this. So, ooh, I like this little bit of black here. Yes, yes, yes.
I like it better now that there's more of it. Does that sound rude? Like, because at first I looked and you only had the one leaf and I was like, that sticks out a little weird, but let's see where she's going. I
Yeah.
like it.
Where's she going?
Where's she going with this?
No, I don't want to drag the drop shadow. I want to move the whole thing. Thank you.
You tell him it's different. It is different than anything artsy. Ugh, I'm sorry, Lisa. And you know what? More than likely, she's not judging you. I've learned that. We
Okay,
all
let's
think
see.
everybody's judging us, but usually they're
Okay, I
not.
turned it off, turned it
Hmm.
back on, turned it off, turned it back on. I do
Are
this
you looking
sometimes.
for opinions, or are you trying to decide
I,
if you like it?
I'm trying to decide if I like it. I think I don't like it. I think I don't like it.
It highlights the black in your
I
that
think I
blue
need to
and black
change.
flower,
Yeah.
and it highlights the
Well,
black.
it's navy
Oh, that's
blue.
actually
There's no,
navy.
yeah.
Okay, so it makes
There
it look black on
is
my screen.
there is some black there,
Yeah, that's the other one that it pulls out the black in.
and then there's black there. Mm,
Angela likes it. She says it helps define the floral set against the background. Hannah says it separates the cut flower from the page more.
okay.
Lisa liked it. You know what? Let me throw you on my other screen. Okay, turn it on again. Oh, you know what? I like it better on my other screen. Well, one of my screens is calibrated better than the other one.
Gotcha.
I know this is a weird thing, but you know. Bev suggests maybe navy would work better.
I did put some navy behind there, but maybe I need to do more. I did these.
Has he seen this layout though, Susan? Oh, you have one. Okay. I was like, how has he seen Cheryl's layout? She just made it.
Let's see here. have that go that way. Yeah, I think some more navy blue was what it
I
needed.
can see why that would appeal to him. It's very much a graphic. It's very in with the graphic design right now. But yeah, you can't have all your pages the same. Come on. It is a really cool layout though. Bev likes the bigger leaves because there's more coverage.
Okie dokie. Let's do small on that one. Then I think I'm going to put this one right in the middle. It needs something in the middle there, don't y'all think?
Angela says, my husband knows not to comment on my pages. I like it.
He knows not to comment.
Yep.
If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I'm liking this now. I like the little cut file having some centers. Yes, yes. Yeah, I like that. So cute.
Very cool.
Okay, now let's find a place for me to stick my date. Yes.
Just start judging his hobby, Susan. What's his hobby? Golf? You know, I've seen people hit the ball better.
I mean, I think sometimes we can tell our spouses, significant others, whatever, what's bothering us.
Mhm.
But in my experience, sometimes if you turn the tables and actually let them experience what they're doing,
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, that's okay. I get it.
He does train weathering. I don't know what that is and gets a lot of kudos. Just tell him that, you know what, you get a lot of kudos in the community that understands how to scrap. So when he starts scrapping, he can start doing it his way.
I love Courtney. Courtney's just like, no, that is not happening over here. Let me tell you how this is going to go. And it's not the way you think it is going to go either.
You know, it's taken me a lot of time to find that balance between blunt and confidence and just going with the flow.
Okay, let's see. Mama
Exactly, Angela.
made this lovely bouquet of
All right, I'll move there.
zinnias that she grew from seeds that Grandma Hicks had saved in her freezer. It was so nice to have a little.
So, do you have two enter keys on your keyboard?
No.
Okay.
Well, I do. I have one over by the number thing.
Hit that one when you finish your line. Hit that one.
Okay. To have a little bit of her at. Okay.
Now you don't have to hit the checkbox at the top.
Oh, nice. Thank
That's
you.
what I was trying to show you. I was like, I know that if you have two enter keys on your keyboard, the one does the next line and the other exits out and you can start your next line. Anyway.
How have I not known this? How have I not known this? So now I'm going to do my little word strips, and basically I just make sure I have white. I pick my just rectangular basic shape, and then I go under the typing that I just did and make a lovely little rectangle.
I apparently just blew everybody's mind. It's either that or the fact that people are direct in Netherlands. And I'm thinking it's the enter key.
The enter key, yes, that is so nice.
Hannah told me I would fit right in the Netherlands because everyone is very direct. You know, that's probably the
Uh,
funny part is I am Canadian, and so there is that like bit of apologist piece to me too. So it becomes a very interesting part of my personality.
okay, let's see. Hmm.
That works too, Angela. I just know that they react differently depending on what you are in. Ooh, a font class. That sounds cool.
Who's taking a font class?
Susan's taking a font class.
Where's she taking a font class? We're
I don't
waiting with
know.
bated breath.
And Lisa says her daughter's been taking classes at Art Center College of Design. Is that like an online school? Oh, she's doing it through lynda.com.
Oh, that's a great site.
Speaking of which, did you know that most libraries still offer it for free? Yep. Ah, they drive
What?
to Pasadena. What font did you use for the stamp? Is it the one that's no longer available?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
My library offers it for free. If you go to, so interesting, they may not have that in the Netherlands, but I do know that in the US, a lot of times libraries have like, I always call them the super secret section because if you go online to their sites, you'll find that there's all these different things. It's LinkedIn Learning here too, but people still call it lynda.com.
Ooh, it is still going crazy
I
out
heard
there.
that. It sounded like somebody slammed your door.
No, that is thunder. It is like, it's crazy.
Do ask about it. I know, I think it's because the libraries get a discount, so it's something that they provide. There's a couple other like homeschool sites and stuff that I use that I get for free through the library. Coming Bev's way later today.
Sorry, Bev.
That's awesome. I love that you gave her that. Yeah, find out. You might be able to use it, or they may be able to, I mean, maybe even for a small fee, they can do an employee license. Because I know like for Adobe, my school gives us Adobe for certain classes at the university because it's cheaper. They get a really sweet discount on it when it's just for the schools. So they give it to some of the employees too, and then other employees can purchase the license at the school price or something like that. But
That's nice.
wow, Hannah has Adobe for about $25 a year. That's
How?
amazing
How?
because she works at a university.
That is so just.
Yeah,
Can I marry you? Can I
Cheryl
be your spouse and have access?
offer to teach an online class and that does graphic design or something.
I don't know that anyone would want to pay to learn to scrapbook. That's at the university level. What do you think?
Okay, so Hannah says she has two licenses, but it would be in Dutch.
Yeah, that's not going to help me much.
Um, just set up your own class and use it to pay for your stuff. Teach people to scrap on your blog.
Ah, yes, this is an idea.
This is an idea. Do a learn to scrap site and use that money to pay for your Adobe, and then you'll feel like it's free.
There is so much. Whenever I think about teaching a class, I'm like, it totally freaks me out a little bit because I'm like, I don't know enough. I don't know enough. I don't know. Most of the people that teach it just know it inside out, backwards. And I'm still learning things about my keyboard.
Yes, but so when I was looking for a beginner's class in 2013, I struggled because all of the classes were set up for people who either were graphic designers or that had been doing it for so long that they kind of forgot what it's like to be a brand new beginner.
Right.
So they assume you understand how layers work and they didn't take the time to explain this is how layers work. So I'd be like, well, my text layer's missing. What do you mean? And they're like, well, did you do this, this, and this? And forgot to say, did you pull it up on top of the layer you wrote it on?
Yeah.
Because that was my problem. Everyone needs a Courtney. Hannah, you're funny. Susan, it's true. I watch the Photoshop stuff on Creative Live a lot of times and see things, what people do, and it's so crazy. But yeah, even then you see that they say experts know about 20 to 30% of what Photoshop can do. And some of those people I think know a little more than that, but it's still crazy to see the things they come up with. I used a lot of YouTube. Ooh, is that your wind chimes?
That was my take your medicine, Cheryl.
Oh.
Take your pain medicine. Which for whatever reason, in the afternoons, I guess I get busy working and I just forget to take it. And then around 4:30, I'll be like, oh my goodness, I felt terrible. Oh, my back is killing me. And then I'll be like, did I take my medicine?
Yep.
I'll go in there and sure enough, there it'll be sitting in there. What's bad is that the days that I go, man, I'm hurting. I bet I didn't take my medicine. I go in there and I did take it. It's just a bad day.
Ugh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, with the weather like this, it's just meh. But oh my goodness, it's so much better than it used to be. So meh, I'm rolling with it. Like
That's
Jay,
cool.
he came home yesterday and he was like, you know, remember when I used to come home and you would just be in your chair in the living room? Because, you know, by the time the end of the day came around, I was just miserable and cranky. And I said, yep. And he goes, you know, you're hardly in there. And I said, you're right. So it's a nice thing. Well, I like how this turned out. I'm quite pleased with this. It is very, very busy, but I love it. It looks like the layers of the zinnia, all those petals, it just, they're such detailed flowers anyway.
They are.
All
It
those
does.
petals.
Angela says it's beautiful. Lisa says very pretty. Hannah, I love it too.
I love those little interior flowers. It's like a flower within a flower. It's like little bitty tiny yellow ones.
Big
So
ones, little ones,
cute.
small ones too.
And that was the perfect kit.
It worked out fabulous.
Yeah, I just went into Lightroom and I was like, what do I have that has a lot of flowers? And I happened to click on Create Crate, which I'm sad that we're not doing that anymore.
I am too.
That
I had fun with
subscription
that.
stuff. Yeah, it was just I liked the mix of their designs together, those designers. So
Yeah, I liked them too. I did the previews for a while and I really enjoyed seeing how they would interpret the themes and stuff.
right.
It made me smile.
All right. Well, I have finished my layout. Yay for me. I'm gonna stop this recording. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.